As business experience major shifts and disruption on a global scale, procurement leaders are rising to the challenge of ensuring business continuity. Having visibility into your supplier relationship health is crucial to make that happen. But that's not easy. Each year, you have interactions with thousands and thousands of suppliers and stakeholders, and these suppliers represent a unique and until now largely untapped set of insights, expertise, and ideas about who you do business with and how you can learn things to improve your processes and operations. With Qualtrics Experience Management for Suppliers, we now have the ability to listen, understand, and act by collecting information from your suppliers at the end of each key point of interaction across the source to pay journey. Through quick and lightweighted mobile-based surveys and with a couple of questions, it is possible to drive truly meaningful insights that can impact the way we do business and respond to the unexpected. This will be easy to understand when we look at some use cases. Let's take as an example the company ABC Inc., a global leader in the chemicals industry that has been seeing a constant increase in global demand and had realized they need long-term resiliency to support that, and how important it is to work even more closely with critical suppliers and strategically address issues ahead of time. This is John. He is the Global Strategic Sourcing Director of ABC Inc. He needs to source a set of new materials to support the increase of demand, but he's worried about the low amount of suppliers he's receiving quotes from lately. So John goes to Qualtrics dashboards to get a better understand on what's happening. And the first insight actually confirms John's perception as he sees the RFP participation rate in the current month is only 31%. He also sees that this is happening for the past months, and September got the lowest rate in this particular region. So deep diving into this information, John sees that only 7% of the invited suppliers said that the RFP was a good fit for their business and that most of the suppliers have a negative sentiment around tariff. John wants to know what the suppliers have to say about this, so he selects the term in the word cloud and see the specific comments the suppliers added into the survey. By reading them, it is clear now to John that the import tariff price condition of the RFP is a big constraint, not allowing the suppliers to be competitive. That's why they are not participating. So, with the simple and quick view, John can now understand why suppliers don't participate of their bidding processes and how he could start an initiative maybe to make their RFP processes more friendly by inviting only national suppliers for specific bids, so import tariffs won't be applicable. John also has a goal for next year of reducing the time to create new supply contracts, and he knows that some regions are not doing well. The first thing he sees is that the overall sentiment from their suppliers when going through the contracting processes is negative, and that supplier negotiations are taking a long time in some parts of the world. Europe in particular is much higher than the other regions and well above the target threshold of 40 days. So, going deeper into this information and looking at the word cloud, John can see that the clause is one of the larger words mentioned along with indemnification, and there is a negative sentiment behind it. So he clicks on the word cloud to know more. Once filtered, he notices that other items have surfaced such as contract discussion and pricing. But he sees that one thing is good. Suppliers are indicating the portal is easy to use. Looking at the comments, he can see that there is a lot of negative sentiment around this clause, and this would indicate that the contract legal language is too restrictive based on region, and changing that would speed up contract negotiation cycle time. This is something John can take to the legal team to review and update their legal language. In both cases, John was able to create insights and direct his actions based on concrete information. The operational data helped him to understand what is happening within his processes, and the experience data coming from the surveys indicated why the process is working the way it is today. Now, let's switch to Peter. He's responsible for products and services delivery within ABC Inc. He is constantly monitoring suppliers and operations to prevent issues that could impact their business. So, from time to time, he also goes to Qualtrics dashboards to get a better understanding on what's happening. The first thing he sees is that the on-time and in-full delivery KPI, which defines whether the suppliers were able to deliver the expected product in the right quantity, date, and place, overall is good. But there is a region that has experienced a substantial drop in that KPI in the past month. By drilling down, Peter can investigate why this is happening. In the word cloud, he sees that the most common term is delay. And by clicking on this word, he realized that every time transshipment, customs, port congestion is mentioned, a negative sentiment is detected. Transshipment is one of the big bubbles over here. So when Peter drills down to the specific comments made by suppliers, he sees that port issues in certain regions around the world are causing delivery issues. Something that it seems to be related to these delays is how much the POs have been changed by ABC Inc. Suppliers said that compared to other companies they do business with, ABC Inc. issues more PO changes, which can result in operational delays to the supplier as well. With this insight, Peter can go to the planning team and initiate a discussion about bringing more accuracy to the POs, so they can avoid so many changes and by that also avoid delays on supplier deliveries. Before he knows, his on-time and in-full delivery KPI will be back where it should be. Moving now to our last ABC Inc. employee. Kate is the accounts payable manager. Her department recently implemented an early payment discount program for high-volume spend suppliers, and she wants to see how it's going. She goes to Qualtrics dashboards and analyzes first some experience data coming from supplier surveys. So far, around 5% of the suppliers had accepted to participate of the program, and they score its usefulness as 3.1 out of 5. In order to understand what could be stopping suppliers to join the program or find better value on it, Kate selects one of the biggest terms in the negative word cloud, which is discount. And it seems that the discount payment term that has been offered might be soon enough for suppliers to consider joining the program. Kate also sees that most of these suppliers have not heavily adopted early payments, and the survey responses indicate why they haven't. It appears that payments to these suppliers have never been on time, yet the suppliers seem to have no confidence that they would get paid on time and therefore get no value from this program. So Kate can take this information back and investigate what is happening around the suppliers and payments not being made on time. If ABC Inc. can fix this problem, they can also drive more adoption of their early payment program. By bridging the experience gap in the supplier world, John, Peter, Kate, and the whole ABC Inc. can continuously improve the supplier experience to guarantee critical supply, deliver business resiliency, accelerate savings, and innovate with the speed business requires in today's reality.